Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance. I'm 1,000 miles away, but girl, tonight you look so pretty. Close your eyes. You'll remember that time that I told a story about my old terrible boss and, you know, I lost a greyhound and it was really eventful. I got really revved up and it was like a real moment. Well bitch, that's about to happen again. You're probably gonna feel so angry by the end of this video that you may just unsubscribe from my channel. And that's a risk that I'm willing to take because bitch, like, I have not been this angry in a very long time. I got my fucking chicken noodles here. We are gonna go on a roller coaster ride. It is about to get really messy up in here. I am not gonna hold back. Like, bitch, I am so, oh my god, I'm mad. Oh my god. And now I'm just ready to slap a bitch. Like, I'm ready to slap a bitch. Like, do you like my makeup, by the way? I just did it. It's on point. Oh my god, I'm so mad! Fuck. Okay. If you've been subscribed for a few months at least, you'll know that I have currently been doing a counselling course. Okay, I want to be a school counsellor. To be a counsellor, obviously you have to do some sort of counselling course, some sort of degree in education in that field to be qualified. So I chose open colleges.
2, 1.
Awesome.
Did I learn from my previous mistake in my previous course that I did with open colleges? No, I didn't, okay? But I just liked the idea of doing it online, not having to go anywhere and doing it at my own speed, okay? Don't do what I did. Like, you might think it's a great idea in the moment. It might be good for the first few months, but like, don't do that. Don't. I have been doing a counselling course for well over 2 years now. Mind you, this is only a 2-year course and I'm up to like 2 years and 8 months now. No joke. So everything was going well in 2019. This was the second year of my course. Finishing it came down to towards the end of the year. I was finishing all my course material, so it started to come to the time where I needed to do placement. This is where you like physically go into the workplace, do a few like hours in the workplace to get that physical experience. Get your hours signed off, boom, here's your qualification. That's basically how it's meant to work. So I started looking for placement back in October 2019. It was an experience and a half, okay? I applied for placement to 15 places. 15 places, okay? That all offer counselling. Each one of these places said no. They either already had someone that was doing placement there, they didn't have the facilities. I was not getting anywhere. Unfortunately, I had to do something which was my last resort because I didn't want to do this because it's kind of personal, okay? I went to a place where one of my family members used to work and they have not worked there for a while now. I don't know why. I could probably see why now, but so because I kind of already had a relationship with that building, like I used to go there as a kid, I used to help out there, thought yeah, surely they're gonna take me because they know me and like, you know, I've got a relationship with them, why would they say no? So this was in November 2019. And sure enough, they said yes. They're very lovely people there. I love everyone that works there. And they took me on, they said yes. And they gave me my counselling placement there at that building. There is a counsellor there. She works for herself, but she like uses that facility to do counselling in. So their counselling service is kind of like external, not a part of the building, but it is in the building. Sally, which is the owner of the building, aka the manager of the building, gave me the number to Karen. Now these are fake names, okay? Sally's like a nice name and Karen's like Karen. You'll know why I gave her the name Karen. And so Sally, the manager of this facility, gave me the number of Karen. Okay, now Karen is their counselor that works there. So she was going to be my counselling supervisor, which you have to have, I guess. So I started talking to Karen and getting it all organised for the new year, which is 2020, this year. I messaged Karen and spoke to her on December 3rd of 2019, and we organised to meet on December 10th, 2019. Now, when we met, she introduced herself, she went through everything with me, like what's going to happen, how it works. She gave me some forms to sign saying that I'm legally her student, I guess, and I also found out another interesting thing. She is going to charge me almost $50 every time I need to talk to her. She's going to charge me $45 to talk with her about any clients that I have. Now, this is unheard of. Like, this is just not normal, because you go to any other counselling facility or like mental health service place to do placement, they are not going to charge you to learn or like get advice, because you're a student offering your time and your effort, energy, counseling other people. So you're helping them out, and it's like they're charging you for volunteering. Like, it just does not sit right with me, okay? I didn't say anything, like, that's just her thing. I was just like, okay, yeah, whatever, sign the form, great. I started counseling at this facility in January 2020 of this year, and it was great. Like, it was awesome, okay? And by this time, I had the workplace approval form signed by Karen, because she's my counseling supervisor, and like it was overseen by Sally, because she's the owner of the building. Like, she'll actually physically see me counsel clients, but Karen just supervises me, so I'll talk to her about my clients, but she won't actually see me counsel. Like, she won't sit in sessions with me or anything like that. So that's kind of how that works. So Sally sees me counsel people, but Karen professionally gives me advice and talks to me about my clients. Karen signed the workplace approval form to say, yep, all good, I'm your supervisor, and Sally just kind of said, yeah, cool, you can work here and volunteer. So everything was going so swell. I ended up getting around 7 to 8 clients from the span of 3 months, and I saw them weekly. So, like, you know, that was pretty good. Like, once I had 6 clients in one day. Like, I was counseling in January, then it moved to February. I'm still counseling people, but Karen starts asking questions, and mind you, I haven't had a supervising session with her yet. I haven't paid her to talk to me yet, like a full-on phone call. Like, we've texted here and there, but we haven't had a full-on phone call conversation yet. She starts asking questions. She's like, hey Lauren, do you need a supervising session? Like, how many hours do you need to be supervised for? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm honestly dreading having a counseling session with her, because the fact that she is charging me to talk to her about something like so simple, it just makes me feel sick. I'm in the middle of trying to live in this house, paying my bills, losing my job because of all that other stuff. If you have not watched that video about my whole old job as a vet nurse at my old clinic, go watch that, because I guess it's kind of relevant to this story, and it's a great ride. I've got 7 videos on that series. So if you have not seen that series yet, go watch that, because girl, it's a good time. It's quarantine. If you have time to watch those videos, or any video at all, I would recommend those videos, okay? Go watch them. The card is somewhere in the corner here. Go click on it after this video. So she was charging me. I didn't want to pay her. I didn't feel like I should have to pay someone to talk to me about a question that I have. Like, every other counseling student that is doing placement does not have to pay for a supervisor unless they are qualified, which I am not, because I'm a student, so I shouldn't have to pay, okay? Like, it's just unheard of. Me being really reluctant, I'm like, look Karen, I don't know how many supervised hours I need, I'll find out and I'll get back to you. So I reached out to Open Colleges. I said, hey, my supervisor's wondering how many hours are required with my supervisor. And the response I got back was unexpected, okay? Unexpected, because my assessor from my course said there are no required hours. Just as many as you can, as many as you can. And I said, okay, cool, no worries. I'm a bit reluctant to have any sessions with my supervisor, but I will do as much as I can afford because she is charging me for every session. They replied, oh, that's weird. Okay, no worries, good luck, blah, blah, blah. So halfway through February, I start organizing a session with Karen, and she's like, hey, why don't you ask Open Colleges if they can pay for your sessions because it's a part of the education thing. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So I reached out to Open Colleges. Guess what they said? No, it's not included in the $8,000 that you paid. It's not included. Bitch, you have me baffled. Like, what? You're not gonna, what? What? Like, excuse me? You're not gonna pay for my supervised sessions with my educator? What? Like, who even are you? Like, so at the end of the day, I just had to bite the bullet because, like, what can I do? Like, complain? Like, I went back to Karen. I said, look, they're not going to pay for my sessions with you. I have to pay for it. It's coming out of my own pocket. Can we work out a different price? So we agreed on $30 instead of $45. I guess that was something, you know. I had my first session with Karen in March, like early March, and it was fine. It was great. Like, and because I was paying for it, I really made sure to take up her time. I'd be on the phone for her, with her for an hour. Like, I pulled every penny out of her. Like, fuck, like, you gonna charge me? Bitch, I'm gonna charge you. Like, Through March, April and May, I am having supervising sessions with her. That's 3 months of supervising sessions, and I would have one session with her maybe once every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week, depending on how many clients I had in that month, okay? May rolls around, I'm still having sessions with her, but she just seems like she's getting really fed up. Like, she's been complaining about Open Colleges this whole time, saying that she doesn't know what she's doing or what's required of her, blah, 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 and she's right. Like, I totally understand why she's getting frustrated, because Open Colleges have not called her or touched base with her to check to see that she's like an actual supervisor. They have not made sure that I'm in a great supervising place. They have not checked in with me. My assessors haven't checked in with me. No one's making sure that anyone's okay. No one's checking that, like, she's doing what she has to do. We're just like making it up out of thin air. So she's getting frustrated because Open Colleges, they're just like, here you go, run off. You do what you want. No requirements here. And she's like getting fed up, which is fair enough. Open Colleges just like kind of reached out to her. They said, hey, do you want to chat about this stuff? And she basically declined. They were reaching out to her for a phone call, and she declined the phone call. She didn't want to talk to them. She was mad, I guess, but like, even if when they were trying to like work it out with her, she was just like wouldn't budge. Classic Karen, am I right? So Open Colleges basically found out that Karen has never seen me physically counsel anyone, because she just has these sessions with me and she just talks to me about my counseling. So she's never seen me counsel anyone. So they're like, oh, don't really like that. Can you please get Sally to sign the workplace approval form instead of Karen? Because we need someone to foresee your hours. We need someone to physically be there. I'm like, yeah, cool, no worries, but Sally isn't qualified. Like, she's not qualified in any sort of counselling in any way, shape or form. So like, can she sign my form if she's not really qualified? Open Colleges turned around and said, yes, she can. We're giving her that permission because your situation is very unique, where your supervisor basically just fucked off the planet and just didn't even reply. So we have no choice. She has to sign the workplace approval form. We will alter the documents so that it is plausible, basically. I was like, okay, cool. So I explained this to Sally, and she basically said, no, I cannot sign your forms. I'm not qualified. And then I said, okay, hang on. Let me just get Open Colleges to call you, and they're going to explain the situation to you, and then hopefully you'll be able to sign the forms. Like, hopefully you'll feel better about signing the forms. Now, I've just got this tingling feeling in the back of my head that Karen has been talking to Sally and has been saying all this shit about my course and about my qualifications, making Sally feel a bit yuck about the situation. She's basically talking to Sally and saying, this is not right, she should not be qualified, Open Colleges sucks, this isn't legal, blah blah blah, when at least half of that is wrong. Open Colleges does suck, like, they do suck a little bit, okay? I'm not gonna deny that. But the fact that you're saying like the work, all the work and the 160 hours, the 160 hours of placement with counselling people is not good enough. Like, I haven't done the right stuff, like I haven't done enough, I'm not good enough, like, I'm sorry, like, what? You ask anyone, like, that was actually there, you ask my fucking clients, and you ask them how they feel about my counselling, and I reckon they're gonna say the exact opposite of whatever shit you're pulling out of your mouth, because honestly, like, I have worked my ass off. Like, I have done so much work with all of these clients, writing notes, doing forms, fucking, like, I have made videos, like, with my stepmom on counseling people. I have done hours and hours and hours of essays and casework and fucking everything, and you're saying that, like, it's not good enough, like I shouldn't be qualified, Open Colleges is crap. Like, no. She basically convinced Sally that all the work that I have done is nothing. Like, so Sally just feels like she can't sign it because she's not qualified, the whole situation is a bit and Karen's just convinced her of this, so that's why she won't sign the forms. Even though Open Colleges have reached out to Sally about 5 times now saying you can sign the forms, there's nothing illegal about it, we're altering the documentation so that it's plausible, you can sign the forms, she still says no. So at this point I'm feeling a bit like towards Sally. Like, I'm feeling like, girl, like, I've known you since I was a little girl. I've known you since I was fucking 8 years old, and you're telling me you cannot sign a form saying that I've done all this work. Like, because I have done all this work and you just won't sign it. Like, I really do not like you right now, as if you are listening to this fucking Karen over me and a legal education system.
Like, what? Oh my god.
Anyway, so Karen's still my supervisor at this point. After Open Colleges tries to reach out to her, she basically turned around to me, sent me an email and said, "Hi Lauren, just letting you know I can't be your supervisor anymore. Have a blessed day." I'll tell you what, you better have a blessed day, because I'm going to give you a blessed day in a minute. So yeah, she just decided to drop off the face of the earth and stop being my supervisor when I'm not even qualified yet. I haven't completed my placement because my forms aren't signed. You agreed to be my supervisor. You can't just stop being my supervisor because things got hard. Like, how? What's wrong with you? Oh my god, I'm so mad. There's no hope, okay? My forms aren't getting signed by Sally, even though they were originally signed by Karen. So yeah, basically all the hours that I've done, all the 160 hours that I've completed at this facility have been thrown out the window because fucking Sally won't sign the form because Karen reckons it's a bad idea. Fucking 160 hours of counselling clients gone out the window because this bitch won't sign the form because this bitch talked to this bitch. Like, fuck. I'm sorry, excuse my language. I'm just so mad right now. So I reached out to Open Colleges again and I said, look, they won't budge, okay? They won't budge. Now this is the part where Open Colleges get a bit more redeemed. Like, I feel a little bit better about them after this, but basically they reached out to me and they said, we are so sorry. So sorry. They apologized profusely and they said, you don't deserve to be in this situation. It's not your fault. Don't worry, we're going to try and help you through this situation. Mind you, we're going through COVID right now. We're in stage 4 in Melbourne, Australia. So like, things are like twice as hard as they would be without COVID. So anyway, so they apologized to me and they said, look, in light of this situation, all we require now is for you to do a further 40 hours at another facility. And at the end of the day, it's not their fault that Sally won't sign the form, but it is their fault that they never called Karen earlier explaining what the supervisor requirements are or talking to her about that sort of stuff. But like, the fact that they apologized to me and like pinned it on them, I feel a lot better about it. Like, I feel better. Anyway, so now I have to complete another 40 hours. They gave me another like 10-15 places that I can try that have been recommended through Open Colleges, and I contacted every single one of these places and they all said no because they're not taking any students at the moment due to COVID-19, stage 4. Like, that's just dumb. Why would they take a placement student right now in the middle of a pandemic? Like, yeah, so basically I'm stuck. I should have been qualified about 8 months ago, but yeah. So yeah, here I am, just chilling. As soon as this whole fucking pandemic is over, I can maybe be qualified. So until then, I am still a student, still waiting. I don't know how long it's going to be until this COVID stuff is over, and then I don't know how long it's going to be until I finish these extra 40 hours that I need to do. So it might be another year until I'm fully qualified, which really sucks. And to think that I could be qualified right now if Sally just signed the form, like, that has me so mad. Like, this whole situation is just crap. Like, and the fact that it happened when COVID is happening as well, like, has just postponed everything for me. Oh my god. Bitches be crazy. That's the moral of the story. Bitches be crazy. I'm gonna go now, because like, that's the end of the story. Well, it's not really the end of the story because like, I'm still halfway through it. So I might make a video in the future updating you guys on what's happened, if I have got placement at the end, or if I am qualified at the end of the day. I'll let you guys know, because I'm sure it'll get more juicy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all smiling until your cheeks hurt, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Fuck you, Karen. Fuck you, Karen. Fuck Karen. Like, Karen, you can get lost. You can go eat a big, fat, juicy